can't help but smile when you say this next honoree's name. She's the cheerleader's cheerleader, so to speak. Whether you've spent 5 seconds, 5 minutes, or 5 weeks with her, she inspires change and leadership in us all, teaching us not to let fear stand in between you and your dreams.
Hi, my name is Alka Bhargav and I'm founder of OM Foundation. OM Foundation was set up in 2013 to work with under-resourced, high-potential high school girls and to help them overcome generational poverty and get to generational prosperity. My own personal life has a lot to do with this. I have been that girl who didn't have direction, who kind of just did what just happened to come along. And also I've been that under-resourced woman who realized quickly enough in life that being financially independent is critical for women. Frequently we are left holding the baby, which literally happened to me. And I don't want that to happen to any woman that I have any influence over. The WEDC Foundation gave me a lot of wisdom for what I'm doing today. And so, and a lot of the women from there have stood up to help be mentors, teach classes, and this is the power of this community and the women in this community, that we pull together and make things happen for the greater good. So I'm all over the map. I have a bachelor's in sciences with a major in biology and chemistry. Then I have an MBA, and then I have a master's in communication, and then I'm certified as a vocational rehab counselor. So yeah, it's all over. I have 4 kids. My oldest is a boy, and the next are 3 girls. And I frequently call them the Brady Bunch. And I have 2 bonus and 2 biological kids. And I brought them all up as my own, and blessed to have these 4 kids. Family, I believe, is the base and the anchor that keeps me going. And I believe that's true for any person. If you have your family in your corner, that is going to be your support system that will see you to success in anything that you do. Good evening, everyone. What a beautiful evening. Celebrating something that I believe in so much. Empowering women so that they can reach their full potential and be successful and be economically independent. Such an important thing. As you learned, my name is Alka Bhargav, and I'm the founder of OM Foundation. I am incredibly fortunate to be able to have a vision and to see it become real. What a blessing, what a blessing. I want to start this evening by thanking some very critical people in my life. First of all, I would like to thank my handsome husband, Raj. Honey, you are the wind beneath my wings. Thank you so much. I would also like to thank my beautiful mother who is here with us today. My mom exemplifies service. If I would look at my childhood, she is one of the main mentors from those days. And I'm very blessed to have my daughter Ria here from New York. Hi, Ria. So my children taught me so much, most of all patience. I would also like to thank my lovely friend Alice Lessman, who nominated me. Where are you, Alice? Thank you so much. And all of WEDC Foundation, WEDC, I bet if I said, anybody who has been a supporter of Om Foundation, if I asked you to raise your hand, this room would be full of people who have supported Om Foundation. This community is unbelievable in its caring for people. So thank you so much, everyone who has stood up to mentor, to teach a class, to be on a board, to be there as supporters for our kids and our women in this community. I would also like to do a special shout out to 3 girls from Om Foundation who are today WEDC Foundation scholars. And I want you to put your hands together for Michaela, Lasagna, and Alexa. Can you all please give a hand? So we were asked to give some words of wisdom to our mentees who are scholars who are in this room. So I don't have much wisdom to give, but I have a couple of things to share. I want to give you a glimpse into my life journey. So I grew up in India, and there is an incident early on in my life that was extremely impactful for me. So this may sound like a story, but really it was a stormy night, raining cats and dogs. There was a war going on between India and Pakistan. And my dad was in the military, and he was away at war. But there was a different kind of war raging in my home. My grandmother, whom we call Dadi, was the matriarch of the family. And to give you a little background, the mother-in-law in the Indian culture is the law. And she gets to rule, you know. And she was bullying my mother so bad that finally little 10-year-old skinny me stood up and said, "You can't speak to my mom like that." Well, there was a swift consequence to that, right? You can't stand up to somebody and think that you're going to get away with it. So next thing, I was just wearing a chemise and I was barefoot, and I was put outside in this dark, stormy night, shivering and scared. There were sirens going, there were bomber planes going. I'll never forget that night. Anyways, eventually I was let in, but that one incident truly empowered me. When I look back, that was the moment that I found my voice, you know. And that is one piece of advice I want to give to every scholar here. Find your voice and use it. You're going to be in so many situations. You're going to be at a table. You might be invited to have a seat on the table, but if you don't have a voice, then there's no point to that. You may be in abusive situations. Use your voice. Use your voice for the benefit of others who don't have a voice as yet. Right? Now, how do you find this voice? How do you find this voice? Well, this voice comes from being empowered. And that empowerment is inside you. Don't look to others. Don't look to others. It's inside you. It is giving yourself the right messages. Knowing that you're worthy. That is what will make you empowered. Anyways, next phase of my life, we moved to the US in 1986. And I was married. I had 2 beautiful daughters. Life was going great till one fine day, my spouse walked out on us. And I was literally, like I said in my video, left holding the babies, a 2-year-old and a 6-year-old. Life suddenly took a nosedive, right? And suddenly my standard of life fell. the importance of being economically independent was clear. But at the moment when I got divorced, I was only an intern working 20 hours a week. And the fear that I felt at that moment is indescribable. It is indescribable. From the sinking heart to the hurting stomach, and worrying about your basic necessities, about having a roof on your head, about making sure my children were safe emotionally, physically, in all different ways, and taking care of myself. The fear that can paralyze you. So my next piece of advice to the scholars who are in this room is to learn how to turn fear into fuel. What do I mean by that? So first, when do we experience fear, right? We experience it when we are under tension, like right now. When we are struggling, when there's uncertainty, when there is change. At all those times, we feel fear. Some people would say, well, be fearless. You know what? That's really not possible. That fear happens at a primitive part of your brain. There is nothing you can do to not feel fear, okay? But what you can do is to manage it. So to give you an example, when you are driving a car, well, don't let fear be the driver. Fear can be in the back seat, or better yet, fear can be in the trunk. But don't let fear be the driver. Because if you do, you are going to miss so many learning opportunities. There might be that interview that you miss, right? There might be any kind of adventure ahead that you could miss. Now, I'm not talking about not feeling fear when you are at the edge of a precipice. That's when you walk back. But I'm talking about fear of success, fear of failure, fear in so many different situations which is preventing you from reaching your full potential. I had promised myself I'm going to follow the 3 B's: be brief, be bright, be gone. So we will do that. So my last piece of advice, I'm just going to ask you to remember 2 things. Turn fear into fuel. Intentionally, when you start feeling fear in situations where you shouldn't be, use that as a catalyst to do the very opposite of what you were supposed to do, and go conquer that opportunity. Be bold, be brave. And the last piece that I'll close with is, you don't need permission from anyone to be empowered. You are empowered. Thank you.